We know next week what we're going to have is the first presidential debate between President Biden and President Trump. First time, I believe, or at least in modern history, first time in a long time, that two of a current president and a former president will debate each other for who will be the chosen president for this year. It's crazy. It's a wild time. I'm going to hit you with these rules real quick. And I want your thoughts on the rules. Put in the comments what you think about these rules. And again, President Trump agreed to these rules because he was smart enough to say, I don't care. I'm showing up and I'm going to be there. And what I'm hoping is in a week, we're going to be like, he made the right decision. Let's see here. So the rules, no opening statements allowed. I do like that. You know what we've heard from President Trump and President Biden enough. We know the general. Let's get down to business here. I dig that one. On-stage positions are determined by a coin flip. So who goes first, who has essentially the advantage, if you will, that's going to be decided by a coin flip because, how else are you going to do it? It sounds ridiculous that that's where we are, but okay, it's by a coin flip. And then you have a 90-minute event. 2 commercial breaks are allowed. Microphones will be cut when the time is up. They will have closing statements, and of course, there'll be no audience. The debate moderators are Jake Tapper and Dana Bash. It will be a heck of a show. All of us are going to be watching. It's going to be CNN's biggest ratings, which isn't saying much, but their biggest ratings in probably decades. So that will be pretty interesting. We're also waiting currently for 2 big Supreme Court rulings that will affect the 2024 presidential race. It's Fisher versus the United States, and of course the presidential immunity case. But I'm going to take Karen's call in Georgia right off the top. Karen in Georgia, you're on the air.
Thank you. I want to know really the underlying reason of why Democrats are pushing for all this migration. At first, we were thinking it was due to voting for Democrats, but now I'm hearing it's because the Democrats want to establish a socialist government. Can you help me to understand how that would tie in?
Sure. Yeah, I think that there is some conversation to be had there. I do think a lot of it right now, and the reason now you're saying, okay, now we're gonna close the border right now, is because of political impact. I think it's all done for political show. I actually think probably the biggest detriment to the American system, the American electoral system, if you will, is the fact that a sitting active president has to then go spend a year or 2 years running for his second term. I'm actually of the version, and maybe that this is controversial, that maybe there shouldn't be a 2-term presidency. Maybe we should have a 1-term that's a little bit longer presidency, because you're wasting 2 years of your time on politics. And really what's happening at the border, a lot of it is politics because it sounds good. It's like the Gaza Pier. It sounds good to be helping people. But what we really know is you're helping terrorists at the border. It sounds good to be helping people who are seeking a better life. I'm all for that. Let's figure out a way to do that in a proper and legal way. But that's not what's happening. What you're happening is people are flooding over the border, whether that is just to visit family, or whether that is for some very nefarious things. And we've seen that as terrorist cells have been stopped in our country, and we know they made their way through the southern border, whether they likely did not originate there. They flew to Mexico or flew somewhere and then went to where they knew there were vulnerable spots in the border. So yeah, do I think that it's to generate votes? Yes, but maybe not in the traditional way of, eventually those will turn into voters, and then maybe you could say that will be impacting a more of a Democrat-leaning population, but we've seen that change this time. So all bets are off. So Karen, hopefully that answers your question as well. But hey, I want to take a minute as we head into the next segment to thank you all for supporting the work of the ACLJ. We've seen some spikes of people. As I've told you, June can be a slow month for fundraising. I'm just honest with you and say it's summer. People are on vacation. People aren't listening or aren't active as much as they were during the school year, if you will. That always helps. So in these months that are a little quieter, we really could use your support. We've had an amazing amount of support already, but I encourage you to join us right now. Become an ACLJ champion if you can. Then you don't have to worry about it. And by the way, you pick what that means. It's a recurring donation that happens every month, but you pick the price. So say you can only give $5, $10, that's great. Doesn't bother us at any level. You can scan the QR code on your screen right now or just go to aclj.org/champions. That's aclj.org/champions.